So I came outside. You guys, the weather today is really, really nice. It's on point. Hair wash day. So I decided to start taking care of my hair. Normally I don't. I just let my hair grow and then I cut it. I let it grow. I cut it, but I wanted to do something different this time. And I promised my friends that I'm going to stop cutting my hair because I'm used to doing that. But I want to turn a new leaf. So every weekend I'll be washing it. Oh, my husband will help me to wash it. And then I'll use the castor oil, the Jamaican castor oil. This. Let's see what magic it does to my hair. So it's breakfast time, and my husband is cleaning the washrooms. And I'll make the breakfast, and then when we're done, we'll go through the trash. So here, it's not the usual trash pickup where you put your trash outside and then you have the trash trucks come pick up your trash. So it's different here. We have a central point, and then we have, I think, 3 or 2 days in a week to throw trash. So recycle and garbage. There's no compost. So both garbage and compost is together, and then you throw it. But in the house, we have a separate recycle bin because you don't want it to be spilling in the house. So we have a garbage where it's just like regular paper or well, not paper, where it's regular garbage stuff that's not compost. And then we have a small compost bin, so that it's kind of like sealed and tucked away, so it doesn't smell. But before I make breakfast, I need to clean the stove. So I'll show you guys how it looks right now, and I'll clean it. So I'm almost done cleaning, but for today, I wanted to discuss something very, very important. So I'll just talk about it throughout the day while I make breakfast. And for breakfast today is pancakes and eggs and fruits, and that's it. But I'll talk more about this topic as I go. So maybe when I start preparing the pancakes, then I'll talk about it. You want to stay on for this. It's something very important, very, very important. Anytime you can throw the garbage.
No. So after this one,
What time did they throw it?
the ladies are open from 8 a.m.
Oh, okay, so it's a wide range. Huh? Okay, before I start, I just wanted to welcome all the new subscribers. I'm really grateful for subscribing to the channel. And while my pancake is still cooking, because it will take a while, I lowered the heat so that it cooks very well. I wanted to talk about this project 2030, at least project 2030 to start. But it's a rural community project 2030. So I realized that ever since I posted about the move from the city of Ottawa to the outskirts of Ottawa, like I keep saying, I've gotten a lot of interest from people who want to do similar things. And I've realized that there are people like me, right, who want to be out of the city, but not away from people. There are people who, they want to be out of the city, but they want to be alone, right? For me, that's not what I want. I want to be with my family, with my friends, with people that I meet, new people that I meet who have similar interests that I do in living outside of the city, but living in like a communal type of living. So that's why I wanted to talk about this project, and that's why it's a project 2030. So 5 years from now. It's not a small project. It's something. It's big. I'll say that it's big. The idea is we'll buy a large piece of land, so say 200 acres of land in the Ottawa Valley area, and then we split it amongst ourselves, so let's say 5 acres each, and then we'll build on it. That's the idea. Also, I have nominated myself as the community chief. By 2030, when we move, you guys can vote somebody else into power. But for now, I am calling myself the rural community chief, and I will lead this project. But then I don't want to do it alone. I want other people who are interested to also do it with me. But I'll tell you the reason why I'm talking about this, and I'll go more into the project, and I'll go more into why we need a long time to plan it. But first of all, let me check my pancake because it's burning. So why am I talking about this idea now? I'm talking about it because, like I said in my previous videos, I've gotten a lot of interest from people who want to do similar things. The problem is it's difficult to buy land in Canada. Let me rephrase that. It's not difficult. The type of thing that we are looking to do, which is this communal living, is going to be very hard. If, let's say, there's 200 acres of land that we can buy now, and we're like, hey, we're family and friends of what? Let's say we're about 15 families each. We're like, hey, we're 15 families. We want to buy 200 acres of land and then split it evenly amongst ourselves, and then just like start living. It's going to be very, very hard because of first of all, the amount. It might not be too expensive, but it can be, let's say we can see like, okay, 200 acres of land for $400,000. And because we're 15 families, it might be very easy to split it. But where the issue comes into play is that it's going to be very difficult for us to now divide those lands. Because for some towns, they have certain restrictions and certain regulations where they're like, hey, you cannot divide certain pieces. You can divide it by 2 or 3, but you cannot divide it more than 2 or 3, which now poses a problem because if there's 15 families, or if there's 10 families, how do we want to now divide it? How do we want to achieve this communal living if there's so many restrictions that Canada is given? So there are places where we can find the land and then subdivide it amongst ourselves, but those areas, it will be very expensive. Like the lands that are cheap, that is like 400k, 500k, and you're like, oh, we're 10 families or we're 15 families, let's split it and it's like 25k each. You will face a lot of restrictions from the government. You have to do a lot of paperwork to eventually like divide those lands and then start building. Hence why I'm talking about it, so that we can rub minds together, think about it, meet with government officials, look through the regulations to see, okay, what can we change or what can we do to make this a reality? Because we deserve to live life like this. We didn't come to this world to just like live life and then just go. If we want to live this kind of life, we deserve to live it. So it's only fair that we look through whatever stumbling blocks is in our way and then try to clear it. Hence why it is Project 2030, because it will take time. Okay, let me remove this because it's burning. Another answer to the why is that it's easier to do it collectively, right? And then I'm going to explain like people that I'm going to work with. And there's a lot of people that we can work with together, like lots of professionals that we can work with together as a community to make this happen. But if we tackle this together, it's easy to figure out some of these regulations or like some of these like stumbling blocks that we're going to have, or some of the issues that we get along the way. If we do it together, it's easy to, I guess, achieve the goal. So that's another why, like why we're doing this or why I'm bringing this up. This is why we need to have a truck. Look, oh my gosh. I'm trying to get ready for a short form content that I need to do with my friend. She's a realtor and she worked with us to get this house. So I'm just trying to get ready. But then while I'm getting ready, I will continue our discussion. So, what is the vision, right? What is the vision that I have in mind? What is the vision that a few people that I've spoken to have in mind? So the plan is we get a large number, so 100 acres, 200 acres, whatever it is, right? We go through the whole process, we get approved to make it even less expensive, because sometimes the reason why it's expensive is because we're like, oh, okay, we have to make certain services available to families. Oh, we have to do, are we going to do municipal water, municipal sewer, all of those things. But to make it cheaper, everyone will just have their own private well. You have your own septic tank that you maintain yourself, right? That way, there's less things that we have to do to get the community or the small, very, very small town of 15 families or 20 families running. But then imagine each family, you guys have 5 acres on there, like that's your own, and then the next family you have 5 acres, but then you are around people who share the same type of mindset or who have the same type of vision as you are. And we don't have to be from the same place, like we don't have to be from the same country. It could be a mixture of different tribes and races, different religions, as long as we're all living in peace. That's the most important one, right? But as long as we're living in peace and as long as we have that communal mindset. This is good. Hey. Like I told you guys, I'm trying to make sure I take care of my hair. I used to have dreads before, but I cut it. Maybe I'll start, or I'll redo it. And when I cut the dreads, I actually saved the dreads, but I don't know where I kept it now. Because it wasn't too long, but it was a good length. The long-term vision is about creating a safe and sustainable lifestyle that's close to Ottawa, not too far away, right? And also, we'll probably have like some other smaller communities outside of like Ontario in different provinces. But just to start, I'm focusing on Ottawa. GTA people, I'm leaving you guys to your own devices. You guys can create your own chief and do your own thing. But essentially, it's to be close to the city because we'll definitely have people who are still working in the city. You have to commute, so we don't want to be too far away, right? We want to be like maybe 30 minutes to 45 minutes from the city, but we're far away that we're able to live a life without certain restrictions. When I talk about no restrictions, I'm talking about you're able to farm, right? You have your 5 acres to do what you want to do. You can raise animals. You can have your own playground for your kids. You can have one for your grandkids. You can have your pool. You can have your lawn tennis. Whatever you want to do on your land, you have that freedom to do that. Also, the community can also maybe create like, so you know how when we split the land amongst families, we can have a certain area that's for community activities, right? Where you can, because it's very expensive to build certain things. For instance, the lawn tennis is very expensive to build. An Olympic-sized pool is very expensive to build. So families can maybe just set up or have very small pool in the backyard. But if you want like something that like, oh, you want your kids to train or to just like play professionally, then it's possible that in the community we could create a very big lawn tennis. We could have like an Olympic-sized pool that's indoors, so like it's throughout the year that you can use it. You can have certain things, like you can have track and field, so that way people in the community, it's not like you have to go outside to go and to get what you want. It's like everything is there. So that's the vision that I have in mind, creating like a sustainable community that you have the freedom to do what you want to do in your own land, but then you also have the support of people from the community. But yeah, that's the big vision. But just imagine that. Imagine like every Friday evening we have village council where like we meet, just like the olden days, right? We'll meet to talk about different things, or we just meet to play games, or just like to hear stories from people, or just learn from one another. Like you're having time away from like your regular work, like your 9 to 5. If you have like 9 to 5 that's like very serious and you just need time to decompress and just relax, you can just come there and meet other people, relax, talk about something else outside of work, and just live life. What a nice vision. So there's lots of challenges in trying to do this. I'll talk about it, but it's not easy to execute this project or this vision that we have in mind. When I say me, I'm including myself and then other people that I've spoken to, and then including you if you're interested. It's not easy to execute this. It's there's a lot to it. I think the one I'll start with is the severing of the land. So you can't just come, which, I mean, if you're like 2 or 3 families, it might be easier to do that way. But you can find land that's in Stittsville or Carlton Place or Monte, 200 acres, and it's 600K, for instance. If we're 20 families, right? Or let me simplify it and say it's 400K. It's 200 acres, it's $400,000, and there are 200 families, there are 20 families, right? By the time you divide it, you're like, okay, each family would get 10 acres. So each family, you get 10 acres of land. Because it's 400K, you pay $20,000. You get your 10 acres. It's not just easy to do. We can't just buy the land and then start severing it ourselves, or be like, oh, okay, you get from here to here, you get from here to here, this family you get from this place to this place. You have to get the permits from the government, like the municipality, to sever it according to the plans that you have. And it's gonna cost you money. It's not a cost of, oh, we're going to sever the land, we'll charge you $50,000 for the entire thing. The way they do it is they charge you for each severance. So for each 10 acres, they're going to split for the 20 families. They'll charge you, let's say, $15,000 or $20,000
each severance. So that adds up to each family's cost. So if each family is going to pay 20,000 normally, it has gone from 20,000 to 40,000 because it's 20,000 for the land itself. And then because we want to now severe it for each person, the municipality is going to charge us 20,000 additional. So cost has already gone up just from that. Cost has gone up just from doing the severance. So that's one thing that makes this more difficult, one of the challenges that we'll face along the way, which is why the timeline is good, right? It's not something you rush into. It's something you start planning now. You know the cost ahead of time, and then each family can have enough time to save ahead. Plus, we might be faced with some restrictions from the town, right? Because the town, first of all, want to inspect, although that they would want to see our inspection of the land or any survey that we've done to see, okay, out of all this 200 acres, is everything buildable? Are there wetlands in certain places? Are there things that we cannot build on? Are there certain, are there wildlife here that we want to protect and you guys cannot build on this? Maybe you can build on, maybe you buy 200 acres, but you can only build on 100 acres, right? There's a lot of those things to consider. So those are the things that the government would also check before they actually permit you to do the severance, which it's not going to be easy to do. There's a lot of people that's going to be involved in stuff like this. Another challenge is finance. So see how I mentioned that. By the time you start adding a lot of all these things, the cost would add up. So it's not just the base price of the land. By the time you do certain things just to make sure like, okay, we actually are able to build on this land or we get the necessary permits, the cost would have gone up. For some families, it's not easy to just come up with 100,000 because eventually I think that's what the land might end up being, right? It's not easy to come up with $100,000 cash, even if you give them enough time to prepare. People have other things that they're doing or other things they're using money for. So, you know, if we say, okay, the land would end up being 100,000 after we've done a lot of things, a lot of regulations, you have from now to 2030 to save up. That's what 20,000 that each family has to save per year. It's doable, but because of not everyone is in the same timeline or headspace, it might be difficult for some people. For some people, it might be easier because then there's a lot of people in the family. There's the parents who maybe are working. If your grandparents are also involved, maybe they have like retirement funds that they can send to you to help. It makes it easier. But if it's just you and maybe just a new couple, husband and wife who are still trying to build their career, it might be more difficult for them. So this is if you're going to do it cash, right? Because don't forget, after you buy the land, you have to build your house. So this is if you're going to do it cash. But the other challenge with financing is banks, they don't really like, not just banks, any even mortgage providers, they don't like financing land purchase. I don't know why they don't do that, but I think, like I mentioned in one of my videos, there's a risk. There's some risk factors, which is it's higher risk. So, and it's difficult to find somebody else to take over if the person defaults. So, they don't like to finance it, especially if it's a long term. If you're like, oh, I'm just buying land to keep, they don't like to finance it. But where we might be lucky is we're not going to get the land now, right? So we might be like, oh, okay, we're still investigating, we're still researching, we find land in 2027 or 2028, and then we're like, okay, we want to finance it. So banks, they might usually allow you to finance if it's within, like, if you're going to build within like 1 to 2 years, right? So they might be like, okay, you're going to build, so sure, we can kind of like put it together. So we can give you financing where you don't have to bring like 30%, maybe you can bring 10%, or you can bring 5%. It depends, I'm not sure, right? But you might be able to get like a land financing and then construction financing, and they can bundle it together actually. So if you have a builder who would build for you in the next 1 to 2 years, they can kind of put it together and give you that entire construction loan as one. So if the land is going to end up costing 100K, and then you find the builder who's going to build for you, and they're like, oh, the cost of the building and everything, especially with your upgrades, is going to cost you another 500,000. So altogether, it's 600,000. if you get qualified, like the banks qualify you, they can give that entire amount to you at once, and you only have to bring 5 or 10%. So you can just bring 50k, or you can bring what, 25k. I don't know the maths, but that's even doable. So there's the challenge of finance, but we can work around it. You can work around it, which is why I said I need people. So people that are well versed in all of these things, mortgage, real estate, land developers. Anyways, I'll come to you guys. Another very big challenge is infrastructure, the cost of infrastructure. And when I say infrastructure, I mean road, because you have to add in the road plan for the house, right? 20 families in 200 acres, you're not going to just build your house anyhow, right? There has to be planned for the road. You have to plan the, like I was saying, if it's a municipal sewer or municipal water, it's even more money, it's expensive. So, but you have to plan it. To make it cheaper, everyone will just have to do their sewage and their private well, right? So that part is covered, but there has to be funds for building the road, which families would like. So you kind of have to include it into the land cost for each family. So the roads, the planning, where would the road be? What about hydro? We need to get hydro hooked up for each family, because you don't want families using generator in Canada, right? What about winter? So you have to think about hydro. You have to think about like some other infrastructures that you have to put in place, street lights, all of those things. You have to plan the cost of all of that, and then include it, like you share it amongst the different families that are going to be part of this this project. And it's also an ongoing cost too, right? You have to determine, would the city be the one maintaining the road for you, or would it be a private maintenance? Like there has to be maintenance, like you have to maintain the road, someone has to come to clear the snow when it's snowing. When there's any issues, who's going to come? Are we going to depend on the government for that, or we're going to depend on ourselves, which is the community? If we depend on ourselves, then there has to be like a yearly fee that each family would have to pay to continue the maintenance of stuff like this. So all of these things, it's not easy to make decisions on certain things, because if you now start saying, oh, we need families to start contributing, that means it's kind of like an estate, right? And then there's that extra cost that families have to think about, which is like the property tax, right? So you're going to pay property tax, but then after the property tax, you're also going to pay something else. But I guess if the families are also going to keep paying property tax, then the municipality might as well come and take care of the services. But there are certain things that they might not cover, which the families would have to cover themselves. So very, very important. Infrastructure, that's a very big challenge that, again, is doable. You can plan it, you can make it work, but then it's going to cost money to the families that are going to be involved too. So aside from infrastructure, another big challenge is government approvals. There's a lot of approvals that goes into stuff like this. It could take years. There is environmental assessment. So like I was saying, they have to assess to see, okay, are all of the lands buildable? Are there wetlands? Are there wildlife that we have to protect? What is this area zoned for? Is it agricultural zone? Can we make the changes to go from agricultural zone to like a rural residential area? There's so many things, and that would be the longest. This government approval, this is the longest thing. So it's one of those things where you find the land. So you have to, if we're going to project 2030, you have to find the land. Once you find the land, then you start getting the government approval. So be like, hey, we have this plan for 20 families. We need your approval. What do you need us to do? What do you need us to get checked? You have to start that, because that could take you a year, 2 years, 3 years. There's a lot of red tape with the government of Canada. So, and the US may be better, but Canada. So again, like I said, this is why I'm talking about it now, so that if you work in the government and you know how these things are done, you can help us too. So another very big challenge, which might not be a challenge depending on the people that stay there, is the management of the community. So you might think, oh, we're all adults, we can all think for ourselves, we can all do things, we should do the right things, but managing people, managing community is not easy. So, like I said earlier, when it comes to certain things, you definitely want the municipality to take care of it, right? Which I guess it might tell on the property tax. Because if not, you'd have to maintain the road. We have to maintain rules. Like what rules are there? Do we want to do like the US style where we have like homeowners association where you're like, okay, you can't plant certain things, you can't do certain things? But that's not even the purpose of this community in the first place. The purpose is we wanted freedom. So you don't want to promise people freedom or promise people like the ability to do whatever they want on their property and then now bring rules to restrict them. But then in order not to have rules, you need to make sure people that are going to be part of this community are people that are sensible. Then you have to make sure like everything is not even in your hands, it's in the hands of the township. So there's no rules, but then make sure like you're following the rules of Ontario, the rules of the land of Canada. Make sure you're doing all of those things. Even if it means like our property tax will go up so that the municipality covers all of these things, like maybe security, safety, if there's any issues, you can call 911, there's fire service, just to make sure like we don't have to have those very, very restrictive type of community management. That would just be too much, but that's another challenge, just making sure that like the people that are part of the community are people that are sensible, are people that would normally follow rules in the first place so that there are no issues, and down the line you don't have to now go to the HOA style of home and house management. It will be too much. But I think those are the majority challenges that I can think of right now. I can't really think of any other thing, but again, the conversation is not going to end here. It's something we're going to continue to have as we go down the line. But I'm done my makeup now, so I'm going to go shoot my content for my friend. And how does it look? Like I told you guys, I'm still learning. So for instance, I didn't do my eyebrows. Eyebrow is not my strong point. I didn't do it. If I had done it, maybe these eyebrows would be more, but it's harder for me to do. I didn't do eyeshadow. I didn't do, what else did I do? My lips is not too, it's just okay. So it's like the kind of makeup I do is makeup that is just good enough. So see my hair, it looks nice. And the makeup is just good enough for like whatever I want to do, and I'm good. But that's another area I'm still going to learn. So I'm going to learn this makeup very well. And then I said I was going to learn hair, so I need to learn how to do my wig well. So if you see me in wig, it's either my sister did it for me or somebody else did it for me, or I tried to do it and it looks good, but when you check under, I did not seal it properly. But I will do my content, and then when I'm done, I will continue this talk. Because when I'm done, I'm going to also talk about why I am sharing it early. There's a reason why I'm doing it, right? I know for some people they'll be like, oh, move in silence, make sure you like plan it in your house and then you bring it out there. Unfortunately, that's not the kind of person I am. I talk about a lot of things, like, I don't know. We cannot all be the same type of people on this earth. So I talk about my plans openly. I don't believe that anybody can restrict me or stop me or do anything. So I talk about it early. I get people that can work with me on my plans, and we'll just go from there. If the plan works out, good. If it doesn't work out, oh well, it's life. So, all right, I'll see you guys. You guys, the weather today is really, really nice. It's on point. Anyway, I just finished shooting the video for my friend. I will send the video to her and we'll get it posted. Where are those two? Nara and Kabo. Nara and Kabo. Are those two? So while I'm still here with the weather nice and I'm looking nice, I was like, let me share the other thing I was talking about. The reason why I am sharing early. Honestly, this is not a one-man thing. It's going to take time and effort from a lot of people, a lot of professionals. So land developers, land surveyors, civil engineers, accountants, who else? There's so many professionals that's going to be needed for this project. So I'm sharing it early so that I can get some of you to join me and do this, because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. I need dreamers. I need people who want this
enough to put in the time and the effort. So if this is you, contact me, let me know, comment. I have my email in my bio. Email me, let's make this work. Even if you're not in around the city of Ottawa, if you're in GTA, if you're in other parts of Canada, but you want to join us to do this for the city of for like the project that we have, Project 2030, for the Ottawa region, the Ottawa Valley region, still reach out to me, because there's a lot that we can learn together that you can also implement in wherever you are, in whichever part of Canada that you are. So I need dreamers to do this with me. Another reason is for transparency. If we hit a roadblock, I want to be able to share this with people that are involved. I want to be able to put this out for everyone to see our process, to see the roadblocks that we encounter, to see how we resolve them. I want it to be out there. I want people to learn from what we're doing too, which is why I'm talking about it early. So it's not just for my benefits. It's not just for the benefits of people that are going to be part of the project, or people that say, oh, I want to be part of this in the future. Plus, even if you're going to be part of it, you don't have to participate, right? Because by the time we have the land and we start calling for people, it's not people that it's not just mouth, right? You need money to do all these things. So you don't have to be part of it if you don't want to be, but it's just for people that want to join to do this. And you don't even have to buy it eventually. If you're like, I just want to participate in terms of, I have the resources, I have something that you guys might need, I'm able to help, but I'm not able to buy because I'm not even in Canada, right? Maybe I'm in Nigeria, maybe I'm in the US, maybe I'm in Australia, but I just want to join you guys. Please reach out to me. Let's do this together. This is going to be very exciting for us to do, and I am definitely looking forward to it. I'm also going to maybe have like an email list where I can send updates. My plan is to post updates online, post updates on YouTube, on Instagram as we go. But there's some information that might be too bulky to send to post, that I could just like send as an email. So if you want to be part of that email list, let me know as well, right? Let me know. Maybe I'll create like a form for us to fill to add our emails. And I'm not going to use your email for anything, please. I'm not selling anything. There's nothing else I'm doing. I'm not doing anything with your email, right? If I want to sell you something, maybe the time has not come, maybe in 2 years. But I'm not using your emails for anything. This is purely for Project 2030 and beyond. So if you want to receive those type of updates, let me know as well. I'll create a form. Maybe I'll send something. I don't know. I'll think about it later, and then we can pull together all the emails, and I will just be sending emails to everyone. But I'm really excited about this. It's not easy to come talk about like a dream or talk about like a project out in the open when you don't even have anything set or anything ready. But I'm just posting it. That's the kind of person I am. I don't care if it works out or not. If it doesn't work out, then we've learned a lot that we can use to help other people, or we can use whatever we've learned to do something else. If it works out, then that's perfect, because it's about to be a good time for us in the community. I think I am done in terms of talking about Project 2030. If I think about something else, I'll bring it up. But I covered all the important things I wanted to say, and we're good. So see you as I continue my vlog.
One, there's also a next step. So no need to go for the car today. Mona, careful.
Where should it be?
You can put it on the side though.
There? Okay.
No, don't put it behind the door. Don't put it
Outside?
behind the door. Yeah, also. Where people can see, that place is hidden. Life of moving, new movers, cartons, every day cartons.
Face of a tired girl. Anyway, it's 10:39. I just finished and I'm going to bed. Long day. Anyways, it was very fruitful and I'm happy to have finished a lot of the things, but not just me. My husband did a lot too. With the setting up of all the furnitures and all the items that came in, but it's been a very long day, fruitful day for both of us. Long day for my daughter too, because she was able to assist us a little. She went to bed late today. Well, all right.